Hi, I'm Mr Mace, Head of PE Department. Thank you for showing interest to look at what physical education and sport have to offer for Level 3 studies at Streatley. Just going to talk you through the three different options we've got for PE and sport courses at Level 3. Basically, we offer the traditional A-level PE course, which is broken into two main sections. We've got the physiological components of sport, so that will be anatomy and physiology. There's biomechanics in sport as well in there, so all about bones, muscles, joints, the breakdown of how muscles respond in exercise, how they respond to training at different climates, etc. We then look at biomechanics, so how force is applied to movements, jumping, throwing, sporting objects, etc. Then we look at, in the sociological and psychological sections, how we learn about skills in sport, how we apply theories of learning. It's all about breaking down skills into manageable sections and processing the information of how we learn the skills. And then we've got some of the sociological aspects of the sport as well. What are the barriers to participation in sport? Some of the issues around deviance, cheating in sport, and drug taking, commercialisation as well. So thinking about advertisement and the links between sport, sponsorship and the media, and why some sports gain a lot of funding and others have far less funding in order to improve the amount of participation in sport. The A-level PE course, like I say, is broken into two main sections of theory content. We then have the practical aspect of the course as well, which students are assessed on one practical activity. They then have an oral response assessment as well. And on that oral response, what they do is they observe a performance in their chosen sport. They break it down into some of the strengths of the performances, the weaknesses of the skills, tactics and overall compositional performance of the sport. And then just in kind of about 20 minutes of that observation, they then have to critique it and offer a way to improve the performance over some sort of development program of about sort of 3 months or so. Talking about some of the elements of the course which are synoptic in nature, so talking about how anatomy and physiology could be improved, how the performance of skills could be improved with some of the theories of learning, transfer of learning, and various aspects of the both physiological and sociological and psychological aspects of the course. So overall, A-level PE, quite demanding, very challenging but enjoyable course, and it's assessed over 2 exams at the end of year 2. One is 2 hour in nature, that's the anatomy and physiology biomechanics section. It's a 2-hour paper, and then you have 2 1-hour papers, one for the psychological and skill acquisition and one for the sociocultural and sport and society sections of the course. So that's basically it. We then have 2 other courses which are basically broken down into lots of manageable sports units. We do what's called the Sport and Physical Activity Development Extended Diploma, which is worth 3 A-levels in nature. That is then broken up over each of the three option blocks, so students can just only study sport and physical activity during their year 12 and 13 studies. They won't have to choose any other option. So they can do that. In those units, they will study body systems, which is an exam component. They study sport and coaching. They study working safely in sport and active leisure, organising sporting events, physical activity for specific groups as well. They'll look at biomechanics, practical sports skills, performance analysis, and they'll look at improving fitness for sport, health and fitness testing, and working in active leisure. So a lot of the units are really sort of vocational in nature, so they'll be geared towards specific elements of the leisure industry and physical activity in order to give students a really wide-ranging variety of study that they can take into their further studies beyond level 3. So you can study that as a 3 A-level course, broken down, like I say, in examination units and in coursework units. Students have the opportunity to resit the exams once for each exam, and also they can resubmit some of the coursework. So students that perhaps struggle with more challenging exams, back-ended content at the end of year 13, quite often choose to do the sport and physical activity units and course because they are more suited to that style of learning, and they can break down their learning and chunk it into lots of different sections and gradually build on as they go through. They don't have to do the full 3 A-level course, they can just do the 1 A-level course on sport and physical activity, in which case they'll just do the mandatory units of body systems, sports coaching, sports injuries and rehabilitation, sports organisational development and sports psychology, which the full 3 A-level course will also do. But they'll just be in the one option block to do that one course, and they'll get 1 A-level equivalent to go along with their other 2 A-levels or BTECs that they may choose in other subjects. So really looking forward to seeing you. Hopefully you'll choose one of our options. If you have got any other questions or any specific areas of questions, whether you're suited to the course or whether you would like any further information, please feel free to come and speak to any members of the PE staff, and they'll either direct you to me, or it may be that they teach a specific unit and they can talk about their specific unit on its own. Okay, speak to you soon. Cheers.